Hey everyone, this is Snatch Gaming. I'm Mike, and like I said back in my Namco Museum virtual arcade review, compilations can be an awesome bang for your buck. So naturally, I ran out and got the Rare Replay collection for the Xbox One this week. And everyone knows who Rare is. Even if you're like me and you haven't ever owned an N64, you know who they are and what kind of games they like to make. Now, from that statement, you might have also gathered that I haven't played a lot of Rare's best stuff from the late 90s there, when the N64 was really clicking on all cylinders. So I wanted to see what kind of value this disc had, but I also wanted to see what Rare had to offer from that era that I might have missed out on, and see if it holds up today. So let's have a look at it. When you first load everything up, you're treated to a nice little intro song and dance that'll be appreciated by longtime fans, and it really does feel like a celebration. Then it's on to the games. Everything is presented chronologically, and it's a great way to see how the company has evolved through time. There are a good many games from Rare's early days on the ZX Spectrum, or ZX Spectrum if you're in Europe, where the console was popularized. These games won't do much for North Americans with no nostalgia for them, but they're still an awesome peek into what gaming was like in the 80s. Playing games like Nightlore was a blast from the past even for me, because it reminded me of the days when all we had was an Apple II computer at home. The highlight of the early fare has to be Battletoads, of course. It's still a classic to this day, and it'll still kick your ass. If you're determined though, you'll get better and better. Maybe. The Battletoads arcade game was a great inclusion too. It's nothing too special, honestly, but one thing I will say is that the game has a ton of personality. Each Battletoad also has a slightly different moveset as well. Like so many arcade cabs, it's designed to munch quarters like crazy, but thankfully you won't need those here. The Nintendo 64 releases will be the meat of the collection for most people. I've never owned one, so I'm really looking forward to these potential gems from the past. Banjo-Kazooie and its sequels look great, and it feels up to date control-wise too. I can't say the same thing for Jet Force Gemini though. Now the control scheme is going to be patched soon according to Rare, and it should be. I didn't find it insurmountable though, as wacky as it is. Still, it'll probably be off-putting for most people, I think. The game is kinda strange, and I'm not sure it'll make me stick around, but that remains to be seen. Conker's Bad Fur Day also looks good, though I wish the camera control wasn't inverted and the frame rate seems a little slow at times. I'm looking forward to playing more of this one the most, though, and that intro paying homage to Clockwork Orange makes me believe this game will be everything I've heard it is. Blast Corps is a fun little game where a careening truck with no brakes is about to crash through town. You use different vehicles or even play as a superhero to destroy buildings to clear a path so that nothing gets blown up. Many think of this one as a hidden gem, and I'm not sure yet myself, but it's so simple I could see getting sucked in down the road. Lastly, Perfect Dark looks awesome, and you can still play it online. Playing this one transported me to the time when Unreal and Quake ruled the day, with fast-paced, no-nonsense action. I can't wait to play more of this one. From here on, there's still a ton to explore. Cameo and Grabbed by the Ghoulies are examples of two games that might be appreciated more in a less expensive package like this one. And Jetpack Refueled looks to be a simple but fun remake, and it looks gorgeous. The original game is here as well. You really are getting a history lesson of gaming here on top of all the great content. So obviously the Rare Replay collection is definitely worth 30 bucks. I know you already figured that out before you even clicked on this video. Now, I never owned an N64 like I said, and there were so many games on here that I really appreciated. I think those N64 games have all aged a little bit, but that's understandable. And there's so many other games, new and old. The mileage you get out of them will kind of vary depending on what you're interested in. But there's also in-game achievements called stamps, different challenges you can do for each game. So there's a lot of replay value here, no pun intended. So go out and pick this up. It's a no-brainer. 30 games for 30 bucks, just like all the marketing stuff says. Go out and get it. Now, I wanted to go on a little bit of a mini-rant here to end things. I actually was reading some reviews for this in preparation of making the video, and I saw more than one game outlet basically saying things like, you know, we never factor in the price for copies of games because everyone has a different budget, and, you know, the price is going to mean different things to different people, so we just don't factor that in. Now, I have to say, that is complete bullshit, and it just makes me have even less faith in these game media outlets. Do reviews, previews, things like that. I already suspected a lot of them were on the take in some way, shape, or form. But when they don't factor in the price, I just think that's a disservice to everyone reading it. And as far as everyone having a different budget, I've got news for these guys. $60 is a lot of money for most people to spend on a video game. Thankfully, this one's $30 and well worth the price, but that's usually not the case. We have a lot of indie games and downloadable games coming out for a fraction of that price, but the AAA titles are attractive to a lot of people. They want to try them out, they don't want to get burnt, and they want their dollars to stretch as far as they can. Some people might buy a game every 6 months to a year, for all you know. So to not factor in the price is just, like I said, a disservice to all the people that read these articles and really take these people's word for gospel. Then again, I've been saying for a long time, take these reviews online with a grain of salt. You never know who's paying who or who's giving who gifts, and it just muddies the waters way too much. Read a bunch of them, skim them, maybe get an idea what the scores are, but go online, read user forums, see what real people think of the game that aren't getting paid to say their opinion, and that at least factor in how much they paid for the game, too. You know, they didn't get it for free, either. So, just wanted to get that off my chest. Hope you enjoyed this. This is Snatch Gaming. I'm Mike. Please like, subscribe if you want to see more, and in the comments let me know what rare games I should go after first and play full-time for a while. I'm really interested to know what people have to say. Thanks a lot.